Hey, it's Jim here from Moose Basin Vacations again, broadcasting from the tackle shop in the office here again. Making this video here because we've had a lot of questions about our property on Allan Lake. A lot of it has to do with where it is, what comes with it, what is there to do there, and just a variety of different questions, more often than not related to what kind of game and that's up there and the exact location of the place. So this video is to give you a bit of an introduction to the place at Allan Lake, let you know a little bit about it, and just give you a bit more information about the place, the area, and what there is to do there. So this is going to be again, much like my last video there, we put it into a video PowerPoint display so we can hopefully give you something to look at while we talk about it, so give you a better idea of what we're talking about. So I'll get on going with the slideshow here from PowerPoint. Switch it over on the screen. The first screen here is about our location and a couple screenshots from Google Maps here. That red dot is the location of our camp. And Toronto's there, Ottawa's there. We're roughly an 11-hour drive from each of those cities, located in northeastern Ontario, district of Cochrane. As you can see from this picture, we're north of Opasatica, which is about the midpoint between Hearst and Kapuskasing. We're about 50 kilometers north at the mouth of the Opasatica River. As you can see down here, this is the Opasatica River that comes up into the mouth there. It can be accessed by the Opaz River from the boat launch at Opasatica heading north. The way we typically go in is we will pass Opasatica and hit a road called McGowan Road, and then hit Waxahachie Road, and then continue on Neely Road until we get to this trail here that leads down to the launch. And from the launch, sometimes with the shallow waters, it can be difficult to launch from here, but it's always doable. Sometimes you just gotta really drive the vehicle a bit into the lake to get the water up enough to raise the boat off the trailer. But once you're in and good to go, it's just a very short trek right across the bay at the north end of Allan Lake to get to the cabin. And over here's a zoomed in shot to see the actual property. As you can see, we're on the corner, both sides surrounded by beach. And you can also see in this picture, if you look closely, you can see some trails going in and out. From this picture here, you can see on Neely Road on the north, there's a little landing there and a trail that leads down. You can also access the cabin there. Just park your stuff on the side there, and this bridge works. We do a good job of keeping it passable. But that trail leads right down there, and you can enter the cabin from the back way. Also, in low water times, if you don't want to leave your stuff there, you can also get a side-by or an ATV to the camp by parking it at this landing, and you can just run the side of the river all the way across. There's a little trail that goes through this point. You gotta cut over there, but you can basically run the lake right across to get to where you're going. And that's basically the location in a nutshell. I will only add that this entire, basically anywhere north of here of the cabin, there's nothing. Like north of Neely Road, there is basically no civilization, and it's pretty much all crown land, access to all the roads and that. There's just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of acres that you can just explore right in your backyard from there, and that's not even counting the river. So now that we have a good idea of where it is and how to get there, we'll go and have a look at the outside. I mentioned it's surrounded by beaches. You get some beautiful views, especially sunsets looking towards the west. It's absolutely beautiful. What you can't see in the pictures is in the back, there is a one of those pop-up storage buildings that can fit all your side-bys, your sleds if you go up here in the winter. And forgot to mention in the first slide, but coming up from the south, the L151 runs pretty much parallel with the Opaz River, and that runs into Allan Lake. You're not on the trail, you can just skip across the trail, and that L51 connects to the A trail. That's the main trail that runs east and west throughout the northern corridor. And so it is easy access in the winter for all you sledders, and being located in between Hearst and Cap, you're in between the Lumberjack Loop and I forget the loop that goes around Hearst. I think it's the Voyageur Loop if I'm not mistaken. But you're right in between those two loops, which makes this camp an ideal spot if you want to explore the Hearst side and the Cap side and have a little bit of remote serenity about your staying out in the peace, away from people. As I mentioned, there's nothing north of you and very little south of you. But on the outside, you can see you're surrounded by forest, lakes, beaches. It's just a beautiful property. We got the outhouse in the back, and it's also got another side building for storage as well. It's got a water pump house as well, several little outbuildings, but the main property has a wraparound deck. You get beautiful views from everywhere on it. The forest is thinned out so you can always see the lake. It's just beautiful views no matter where you go around it, and the trail connects into the back, so it lets you explore even more trails from the outside. And there's also, the pictures don't show, but there's little walking routes in and around the property, so you can explore by foot and get to a lot of shore fishing places and try and catch some shore pike along there. The next slide is the inside. As you can see, it comes with a propane stove, comes with a fridge. There's a barbecue outside there. Obviously we got the fire pit. You need the fire pit for warmth. It has a very comfortable seating area. Got bunk beds. This bottom one here is a queen. The other two are full mattresses, so it's not just an uncomfortable cot. These are new beds, very comfortable mattresses. You can definitely get a good night's sleep here, and lots of storage for all the clothes for your group and everything. Lots of storage in the kitchen too. The fridge is a little small, but if you plan ahead and just keep your perishables in the fridge and freezer and your drinks and that, and kind of bring more of the dry food disproportionately, just like camp, then you've got plenty of room for absolutely everything you need. We got stuff for baking and all that up there. So it's basically a small but fully functional kitchen. As you can see from the sink, we got running water there. We also have in the shower room that we showed you in the last slide, we have hot water in there. So you can actually have a warm shower to relax after a long day of doing whatever it is you enjoy up here. But as you can see, it's clean, it's comfortable. No matter what you do up here, you have enough space to be comfortable when doing it, and your whole group has enough space to be comfortable when doing it. And move on to the game that can be found around there. The Allan Lake and the rivers are full of pike and walleye, and all season long the Allan Lake itself is pretty decent for ice fishing and excellent for spring fishing. And as you move closer towards the winter, it gets good again in the fall. The Opasataka River is absolutely amazing fishing late into the fall and into the summer. This picture here was from ice fishing around Allan Lake. Lots of walleye in the winter season. This is a picture here is a guest who landed that massive pike just off of Zadie Lake. And there's lots of bears in the area. This bear was actually harvested off of one of the old CSRs in the area. Very active bear population. And lots of grouse in the area too. Once grouse season comes along, you can pretty much take a side-by trip down any of the old roads or old trails in the area, and just by noticing the birds, you don't even really have to look for them. If you just kind of take a side-by trip around, then you will eventually find enough birds that you will be able to get your limit. The population tends to be very good up there, especially if you keep your eyes open and keep your wits about you and are actually aware of where they are. The population is actually very, very high up here. Lots of good luck on harvest and hunts up here. I got no pictures of moose up here, as lately the moose have been sketchy around my camera. I see them, I try and get the camera out and they're gone, but there's lots of moose signs up there. We've already seen a few people be successful with bow hunting up here this season. And most of the time when people go up here for a moose, they do end up getting their kill, which is a testament to the geography around it. It's prime moose territory, prime bear territory, excellent walleye, pike, and grouse. It's truly a hunter and angler's dream up here. And the waters of the area, as I said, the Opasataka River runs into it. These are a few shots here from the Opaz. Allan Lake. Allan Lake is a very shallow lake. Allan and Zadie, the two lakes. Zadie is very rocky, whereas Allan is very sandy and very weedy. So you do have to be careful when you're boating in that area. One, for weeds and bottoming out on the sand, and two, for hitting rocks. But the Opaz River, once you get into the river, the average depth in the middle of the channel seems to be somewhere between 20 to 30 feet deep. Depending on the season, depending on the water levels, that's between 20 to 30 feet. Holds lots of fish, very safe boating as long as you kind of stick to the middle of the channel. There's very little hazards along the way. Once you get on the river, totally safe boating. And along the river, you have a lot of creeks that lead to other lakes. One of the lakes we like to get to with the little tin boats and kayaks is West Neely. The locals call it Lagrange, but on any map it'll be called West Neely. Tough lake to get into, but the fishing is absolutely worth it, especially in the spring when you get there. The walleye tend to get trapped in the lake and it makes the fishing really good. But not connected to the Opasataka River in any way, and not a tributary of Allan Lake, but also the waters in the area you're connected to, not connected to, but you're a very short trail ride away from Santa Ma Lake, Owlet, Ghost. You're connected to the trail that leads up to Nishan and Eleanor, where we go to ice fish. So it's not just Allan Lake and Zadie and the Opaz River that you can run. You can take a short trail ride with a kayak or a little 10-foot boat being pulled behind you, and you can access other amazing bodies of water for fishing with a short trail ride to wherever you want to go. And mostly north of the camp on the north side of Neely Road, there's a lot of really good lakes in that area. And you can even push it farther and road run to some other lakes that are further north of town. And also on the water, you have two sets of dams. You have the dam at Zadie that holds back the water for the lake. Obviously, it controls the water level. But then down further south of the cabin, you have an overflow dam that when the water levels get too high, it overflows and it runs water from the Opaz into the Lost River, which connects up with the Kapuskasing River. But so in terms of fishing on the waters, people like to look for structure and people love fishing around dams. There is one at either end of the Opaz system where we are. One just, the overflow dam is just north of the launch at Opasatica, and the Zadie Dam is on the east end of Zadie Lake and keeps water in the lake. Both areas are beautiful. Both areas are absolutely amazing for fishing. And in terms of the beauty, I actually have a photo of the rapids by Zadie Dam on the next slide up there. And that is where we'll go to now. We'll start talking about the trails in the area. And when I say trails, I don't necessarily mean actual registered trails, because there is absolutely really none of them up there other than the L151, the OFSCA trail that leads north from Opasatica up to Allan Lake. That's the only real registered trail of any kind that is in the area. So when I refer to trail riding around Allan Lake, I'm actually referring to running old lumber roads that are, some of them are still perfect roads like Neely, very wide. And then there are other areas where you get into the older cuts where it's just a trail that'll ends up leading to a lake or something like that. But the point is, none of the trails are official, but there is amazing riding in and around the area. This here is, down here is the rapids that leads to Zadie Dam, connected to the camp by either, you can get there through some trails, or you can just take the trail I showed you in the other slide and ride up to Neely Road. And this dam is located right on Neely Road, and beautiful place to just stop, take pictures, do some fishing, or just a beautiful spot to see while passing by when you're doing some riding. These are just all pictures of different areas. The top two here are, as we're taken off of Neely Road and the trails leading north of it. This picture here is just a picture of Neely Road. I just happened to be driving on it at the time the sun was coming up, and I just really like that photo. It's beautiful when the sun comes up. And this is a picture of the bridge that is part of the trail that leads from Neely Road south towards the lake into the camp. As you can see, it looks rickety, but it holds side-bys, it holds trailers, it holds everything. We keep it sturdy, but it does look pretty rustic. But these trails, we mentioned the water bodies that you can see some falls and rapids from the dams and all that. The trail system around here and all the lumber roads and that, it gives fairly easy access to places like Opasatica Canyon, where you can see all the falls that are before and after the canyon, including Indian Sign Falls. That's one of the more beautiful falls in all of northern Ontario, and it's one of the lesser seen ones because it is remote and you can only get there by trudging through the lumber roads and the trails to get there. There is no easy way of getting there, but it is well within a day trip from Allan Lake, driving through beautiful countryside like you see there to get to the places. And these trails also provide very good hunting ground. The bear that was shot in the previous slide, excellent sized bear. I actually still have some of that meat in my freezer right now. I gotta get on eating that up. But those bears were shot somewhere off of one of the trails. I'm not giving the exact location because we want you to explore. We don't want to just point and click you. Exploration is part of the joy that makes these trips so memorable. But the bear was shot on one of the trails that offshoots Neely Road. And when you're driving just down Neely Road, the last time I drove down Neely Road, I saw 7 bear and lots of moose tracks. And it's quite common to see cranes, ducks, grouse. You see the odd wolf, lots of beavers. If you're into nature photography, these back roads are perfect for you to just tour around because you will end up seeing pretty much a bit of everything. Like I said, this year I haven't had the moose sightings. I've just seen lots of moose signs everywhere, but I haven't actually seen many moose. Hopefully that'll change, especially for our hunters coming up. But as you can see, all the trails lead everywhere beautiful, and you can even take Neely Road down to Freddy Flat, and if you want a nice quad ride for supplies, you can take your bike all the way into Kapuskasing, and you can do supply runs with your quad if you want. But after I said that, I'll also mention if you just want to stay at the camp but you run out of supplies, that is one service we do provide for Allan Lake. Is we will, for a fee obviously, we will do a supply run for you so you can spend all the time possible enjoying what the camp and what the area has to offer with no distractions. We take care of some of those distractions for you because we want you to enjoy every last second of what this beautiful area has to offer, whether you're trail riding, looking for photographs, hunting, fishing, or just like paddling. Like, it doesn't matter what you're into. We believe that we want you to make the most of it when you're here, because no matter what you do, it's beautiful, and we want you to keep the beautiful memories of it. So we want to do everything we can to get you out there seeing as much of it as possible and doing as much of what you enjoy as possible in this beautiful setting. So with that in mind, you have a good idea of what the area looks like, what can be offered, and we're going to ask that you check out our website for package deals at www.moosebasinvacations.com. Follow us on Facebook. That is the best way to stay up to date with what we're doing, our progresses, our other services added in that. Because we are a new business up here, we are still figuring some things out, and we are constantly making slight changes to make things better for you, your group, your family, whoever you're bringing up here to share these experiences with. We want to be able to make sure that everyone has a good time and can do it safely and can experience the joy that we get out of these areas just as much as we do. So check us out for bookings at www.moosebasinvacations.com. Follow us on Facebook to stay up to date with all the different things we're doing and different ways we're different things we're putting in place for you guys to all enjoy your stay a little bit more up here. kind of like the weekly fishing derbies. We're running out of cap. We want you to enjoy it. Check us out on Facebook and our website to see what else we offer, including some of our absolutely amazing package deals. And no matter what you're doing, no matter what your passions are, we hope to see you up here so we can help you live your dream and live life according to your passions, even if it's just for a week or two on vacation. We want to be able to get you living the dream up here. So thank you for listening, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good day out there.